Alright, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to get better at comboing for sword PvP. This is a really good skill to learn. 5 main things that I'm going to be going over today is aim, control, avoiding spam clicking, combo, critting, and then how to really get at it and just practice. So let's just get started. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do to work on your aim is just place a target block on the ground or any block and just make sure you have your crosshair. You can have your crosshair completely on that block. Just make sure your aim is good enough so that you can completely have your crosshair on that. My sensitivity is a little bit low, so it's harder for me, but if you have a higher sensitivity, I'm guessing most of you should be able to do this fairly easily. So let's move on to something harder. Now what you're going to want to do is place a mob in a chamber and start hitting it and do basically the exact same thing as you were doing with the block, but now with a mob, and make sure you're hitting at the right times to deal damage. Don't crit, because we're going to move on to that later, but just hit it normally and circle around the mob so then you can practice a little bit. And once you can do this very effectively, which it won't be that hard because it's basically the same thing as the block, we can move on to the next step. Make sure you're not spam clicking when you're trying to do this. It will do way less damage because of the 1.9 update, as you probably know. And also just make sure you're not spam clicking, even though you know that the way to do it is to time your hits. It'll just create a bad habit. You never know. So just make sure you're doing it, just timing your hits, and make sure you're not spam clicking. Now, something that I see a lot of people do when they're trying to learn how to combo is that they start to go haywire, like say they're getting comboed, like they can't hit somebody. Okay, this guy's just can't even hit me either, oh my gosh. They can't hit, and then they start freaking out, and then they start spam clicking, and then their mouse starts to go everywhere. But then the key to that is if you're getting comboed by like somebody that's better than you, make sure that you don't panic and you don't start spam clicking, because that won't make it any better. Just try to focus, like concentrate, and keep your mouse hovered over them, and then just try to keep your controls under control. Here's the big thing, the thing that all of you clicked on the video for, is learning how to combo in sword. So once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. Basically, just make sure you're timing your hits, of course. When the bar goes through, then you can fully hit. Basically, just every single time you hit them, just back up a little bit. Every single time you hit somebody, you can either S-tap or W-tap. I mainly S-tap when I'm trying to combo somebody, but every single time that I hit somebody, you could see right there, I just back up a little bit, and that enables me to be able to get my fullest reach and be able to hit them from the greatest amount of distance that I can, and which also kind of limits their reach almost and makes them not be able to hit me. One thing to know is S-tapping is a lot more difficult than W-tapping, so I would recommend starting on W-tapping when you're learning how to combo. It's just easier. Honestly, I don't really know how to W-tap, so I couldn't really show to you. Oh, I kind of did it there. But that's basically how you S-tap. Every single time you hit somebody, just back up a little bit, immediately sprint forward again, so then you can again get the maximum reach when you're sprinting, because you get more reach actually when you're sprinting than when you're actually walking. So just put together all the steps I just told you on how to combo. Just every single time you click, just press S to back up a little bit, then press W, then press your hotkey for sprint and W together to be able to immediately sprint forward and then give you the maximum amount of reach, and then you should, in theory, after a little bit of practice, be able to combo. So now the final step in learning how to be really good at sword PvP is learning how to crit well. Usually in only kits like OP kit will you be actually critting. In the kit that I use, which I will show you in a little bit, is the best kit for me to learning how to combo. Learning to crit spam is going to be incredibly useful to like learn in the future for like future things. So basically, I'm assuming that you all know what a crit is. Every single time that you are moving down on a person, not sprinting, and you click on a person, you will do a crit instead of a normal hit. So, and of course they do lots more damage than normal hits, and being able to completely just go around somebody and just crit spam them is a really important skill to learn. So basically, when you crit spam, you just want to keep on doing that thing, but instead you don't usually want to sprint that much. You may want to like occasionally sprint once in a while. Like I sprint a little bit every single hit, but not that much. And you want to strafe around them, pressing A or D, whichever one you like. And you want to, and this is how the practice earlier for like rotating around an object or a mob will come in handy, so then you can like make sure you're staying on their hitbox. So when you're moving around, just keep on making sure you're critting, and you'll eventually be able to start to get the hang of being able to just continuously crit somebody. Now the final step into getting really good at Minecraft Sword PvP is learning how to practice well. So I have a kit that I usually use. It's basically a kit, full protection 4 and just an iron sword unbreaking. The reason it's like that is because if you have like an iron kit with a wooden sword, if people look at your kit, they're gonna think it's a dumb kit, and then they're not gonna click on it, and then because they're gonna think you're cringe. But if you have a diamond thing and an iron, then they're not actually going to look at the enchantments, and they're going to see that it's basically the same as an iron and a wooden kit, but it's just like, it just looks like it would take less time to beat you, because this protection 4 and it looks like it's enchanted, but it's just unbreaking 3. But it doesn't actually take that long. Basically, people don't have the incentive to crit on it because it doesn't have sharpness on it or anything, so mainly people would just try to combo. This is a pretty good kit for just working on comboing. If you want to work on crit spamming, definitely just check out OP Duels. This is on PvP Legacy, of course, if you couldn't tell already. Or if you've never been on this server, definitely recommend it. And yeah, that's how you get better at Minecraft PvP.